Hey everybody, what's up? It's Dunbar Snack Bar. I'm finally back. I know it's been over a month since I posted, and I apologize, but for those of you guys who didn't get a chance to be able to see the Facebook page, didn't see what I put on Twitter, didn't see what I posted on YouTube, I got married, which is absolutely awesome. Now, the whole marriage and everything like that took place, it took a lot more than I thought it was going to. It took a lot more time, a lot more preparation, a lot more money than I really thought it was going to. And so, while I know some of you may not necessarily know how much it takes to get married, hopefully you guys understand the priority of getting married comes before making videos or anything like that. So, I really do apologize. I feel like I've let some of you guys down a little bit here because since I didn't think that it was going to take that much time away from everything and that I wouldn't have a chance to be able to do videos, I told you guys I'd be doing a dynasty with Nebraska for NCAA football 2012. I also said that I'd be doing a Bucks dynasty or a Bucks franchise for Madden 2012, and that I'd be posting the postseason of MLB 2K11. So a lot of awesome things. Because of everything, I wasn't able to do that. So like I said, I feel like I let you guys down. I definitely apologize for that, and I really want to make it up to you guys, which is something I'll go into here in a little bit. But first, before I go into that, I really wanted to thank everybody, though, all my subscribers, whether you are the first one to come over or you're the last one to have come over so far. You guys are absolutely awesome because my initial feeling of what was going to happen with all the time that I'd taken off is I was going to lose a lot of subscribers, and that really doesn't reflect upon you guys. It reflects upon me. But every time that I would check, whether it be from my phone or if I got a chance to log into a computer really quick, I always had more subscribers than the last time that I logged in. I've actually gained about 200-300 subscribers since I last got on. I broke the 2,500 mark while I wasn't posting, and I'm pretty close to breaking 3,000 now. So that really says something about your guys' loyalty, and for those of you who have come over, that's something that's pretty awesome too. Because I know that whenever I go check like a YouTube channel, if nobody's posted in like a month or two, I'm just like, you know what, whatever. They're probably done posting. And I'm sure that some people out there really thought that was the case with me. Glad to say that's not the case. I am here. Now, granted, I am doing Battlefield 3 right now. I usually do a lot of sports, and you guys can tell I'm pretty average at this game. But I really wanted to do this right now because I really feel rusty, and I want to get back into things because not only have I not posted in a while, I'm also getting over getting sick, so my voice is not all the way back. So I apologize if I cough on you guys or my voice kind of goes out for a little bit. It's just me getting over a cold. Someone told me that right after you get married, you're going to get sick because your body kind of gets weak because there's no more stress on it anymore. I kind of laughed at that. I didn't think that was the case, but it ended up that's really what happened. So again, I apologize if I cough on you guys. But anyway, welcome to all the new people. You're going to be seeing some awesome stuff. I definitely like to do a lot of sports. Every once in a while, I throw in a first-person shooter because this is what I like to play myself just for fun. But like I said, I'm pretty average at it, not too great. It's just fun. But anyway, some people wanted to know how the wedding went. So thought I'd give you guys a quick rundown. Well, probably not quick because this is a pretty long video, as you guys can tell. One of the first actual Battlefield games that I played. Now, I'm from Nebraska. So what we did is we first took a look, my fiance and I at the time, now my wife, at places we could get married at here. And there really wasn't anywhere that we wanted to get married at. So we decided, you know what, we're going to take this opportunity. We're going to travel a little bit to go get married. So what we did is I got off work at 8 o'clock at night. I usually get off at midnight, so I got off a little bit early. And we drove 14 hours to Utah. And we chose Utah because it's a very beautiful place. If you have not been there, definitely recommend you get a chance to go. Very different than what you get in Nebraska, because with Nebraska, the land is so flat. I feel like you could stand on a tin can and see the back of your head. That's how flat we're talking. And we go out to Utah, very beautiful place, lots of mountains. There was snow on the mountains even. Great people. We got a lot of family and friends that are out there. So with a lot of them, we don't get to see too often. So we thought this is a great opportunity to, of course, get married and have like a little vacation, kind of count it as the honeymoon out there too. So we stayed at a place in a city called Orem, which is basically right next to Provo. It's one of those places where, there's a lot of people living in one area, but it's all separated in a different city, so you really can't tell the difference between one city and another. But Orem's a very beautiful place. We got to stay there for a little bit, and as we were making the final preparations to get married, it was a very nice, relaxing place to be. So the day actually came when we got married. We didn't get married actually in Orem, but in a city called Bountiful, which is just north of Salt Lake. And a very beautiful place to get married up there. There's a great view that kind of goes down into the Utah Valley, and you get to see everything, which was super cool. Very gorgeous place. Now, the ceremony itself was a very small ceremony. That was kind of good. That's what I wanted, because I talked to a lot of people who had got married, some who did really big ceremonies and some who did really small ceremonies. And those who had done big ceremonies, what they were saying is that at times it seemed like the actual ceremony itself and preparing for it and everything became more important than the actual, wedding itself. Like they were so wrapped up with making sure everything went smoothly, everything was going the way that they wanted to, that the actual wedding itself didn't seem as special. And that's not something that I wanted, because I'm a very lucky man. My wife is easily one of the greatest people I know. She's my best friend. She's funny. She puts up with me. She loves me for exactly who I am. And when you think about it, here's a guy who plays video games, posts them on YouTube, and is kind of a geek. The kind of woman that she is, you would not expect a girl like her to go for me. She's absolutely gorgeous. And I wanted this to be something very, very special for the both of us. So we had a small ceremony. It was amazing. Obviously, we got married. That's what we did. And after that, we went back to Orem, and we just had a little get-together with some of those family and friends, some who got to go to the actual wedding, others who didn't get a chance to go for various reasons. And it was a great time to just, relax. We had some sandwiches, stuff like that, and got to hang out with them. So then we had our honeymoon up there, spent a couple days in and around Provo, that whole area, actually right by Lavelle Edwards Stadium, which is the stadium for BYU. So one of the next videos I'm doing, by the way, is going to be BYU Utah. Just kind of celebrate that since, I was up there and, we were staying right by the stadium. But anyway, so we had the honeymoon. That was great. Had some people come over every once in a while just to hang out with us because, there's only so much you can do in a hotel room. And I don't know, it was just great. So we came back. We had our wedding reception 3 weeks after we got married, and that's a pretty lengthy time. But the place that we were having our wedding reception, it was free if we were okay waiting a few weeks. So we're like, you know what? Let's do that. Let's save some money. So it actually worked out really well because for the first part, all we were doing was planning just the wedding itself. Really nothing else. And then we got back here to Nebraska, and then we were able to go ahead and plan the reception. So we got to spread that out a little bit, spread out the stress, the money, all the planning. I could go back to work a little bit too to earn a little bit more for it. And we kind of wanted to do the same thing with the reception that we did for the wedding, just have it be a small little get together. And we invited friends, family, of course, stuff like that. And it was pretty good. A little tidbit of advice, you guys. If you are not married and you are wanting to get married, make your reception as much of a do-it-yourself thing as you possibly can. Because it was really, really crazy. Like, we were thinking, who should cater our reception? And we were like, you know what? Since it's going to be during the day, we'll go with something light, like we'll do lunch. So we kind of looked at Subway, Jimmy John's. And my gosh, that stuff is expensive. Like, you go to Subway, you get a $5 footlong. No problem, right? Well, like, the footlongs, if you bought them through Subway, when we kind of calculated it out, it was like almost $16 a foot, which was ridiculous. So we got a Sam's Club membership. If you guys are more familiar with like Costco, it's the same thing. We just bought everything in bulk. We did it ourselves, and we saved ourselves so much money, which was definitely a good thing because that's more money we get to spend on a number of other things as we start our life together. But that was really great. Got to see my wife in her wedding dress, and she was absolutely gorgeous. Like, I loved her wedding dress. There's only a few times in my life that I can think of where my jaw literally dropped open when I first saw somebody because of how great they looked. And one of those times, I'm glad to say, was the first time I saw my wife in that wedding dress. Oh my gosh, she was gorgeous. Kind of goes back, I am a lucky man. But the reception, really not too many people showed up. Like, we wanted it to be small, but there was a lot less people than we were kind of thinking. And it kind of actually ties into Nebraska culture. Now, from a sports side, when you live in Lincoln, Nebraska, or just Nebraska as a whole, there's really nothing professionally around you. Granted, you got like Kansas City, which is like a 4-hour drive away from you, obviously depending on what part of the state that you're in. Or you got Denver, which is like 8 to 10 hours, I can't remember, but it's a pretty good distance. So neither of those teams are really close enough that you could consider yourself a local team. So for us, really the only thing local that we have is the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So that's why you see a lot of Nebraska fans that are just diehard, because that's really all we've got. So we understood that because this is such a big deal to a lot of people here, we would work around the reception, or we would work our reception around the game, which kind of blows some people's minds, but you really got to live here to understand it. So when we were planning the reception and the date, we looked at the time, and we saw that the game was scheduled for 6 o'clock, and we were playing Michigan State, which we kind of knew was going to be a big game if both of the teams were playing really well. And obviously, you know, we both have been playing pretty well. Nebraska had one loss at that point. Michigan State, I think, was undefeated. Yeah, they were undefeated. So it was a huge, huge game. So ESPN, seeing it was a huge, huge game, picked it up and changed the time to 11:30. So our reception was going to start at 1. We were like, if it's 6, you know, that's great. People can be there for the little ceremony that we'd have before to kind of recreate the wedding for those who didn't get to go. They could still be a part of it. You know, and then people could come and go as they pleased afterwards. We'd have just some sandwiches for them. That was what we were thinking. But when they changed it to 11:30, then our reception was right in the middle of the game. And so people had to make a choice. Do they go to the wedding reception or do they watch the game? A lot more people watched the game than we initially thought. And it kind of got in the way, too, because since Nebraska won and won big, a lot of people were so wrapped up in the celebrations afterwards and stuff like that. Some people just spaced it off. And at first I was kind of offended, but it's like, you know what? The reception wasn't the big deal. Like, I married this woman already. That's okay. That just means I've got more leftovers for work. But it was still good. I mean, I got to dance with my wife, got to be there with friends, family, stuff like that, and just celebrate the fact that I got married. Now, I know you guys probably really don't care about this, but I have to vent to you guys on this one. This is just ridiculous. So, if you have a friend who asks you to be in the wedding party, like as a groomsman or something, that's an honor. It's not something that you go ask to go be in somebody's wedding party. Now, I wanted my groomsmen to be a collection of some of my best guy friends who have been there with me through thick and thin, who I know I could always rely on for everything. And I wanted it to be, you know, something special for them and something special for me to be able to look over and see all of my friends who have been there for me in one place. Well, I've got a friend, and I kind of use that pretty loosely. He's kind of more, I don't know, like he comes over every once in a while, but like I never go to him for advice. I don't really hang out with him that much or anything like that, but I'm pretty friendly towards him. Well, anyway, so this guy, once he heard that I was engaged and everything, he's like, hey, can I be one of your groomsmen? Which I thought was kind of a joke, because you don't do that. You don't ask to be somebody's groomsman. They should ask you. Because, I mean, if they don't ask you to be a groomsman, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, you know, if the bride only wants like 3 or 4 people in her wedding party, then it kind of restricts you to 3 or 4 people. And, you know, you got to put family in there, stuff like that. So it's not necessarily saying something if you're not in there. But anyway, so he asked, and I'm like, me trying to be a good guy, I'm like, all right, well, I'll talk it over with my wife. And so my fiance at the time. And we talk it over, and we're like, you know what, all right. Because really, what would it be like to be like, nope, sorry, you can't. But we're like, all right, we'll let you do it. So he starts to get shady after a while with like everybody that we know. And he was not returning phone calls, not returning text messages. And the only way I could get a hold of him was if I responded to him on Twitter, like did a reply to him and everything like that, which took him still like 2 or 3 days to get back to me. So it was pretty ridiculous, and I was starting to get worried. So my best man, who was friends with him, met up with him for lunch. Those two were just hanging out, and he said it was really, really hard to get a hold of him. And asked him if he was still planning to go to the reception. He's like, oh, yeah, man, like I'm so excited about it, everything. He got the suit, everything. And so I was like, all right, whatever. And then I started getting worried again. And so my wife called him, and my wife had changed her number recently because people were trying to like get a hold of her for stupid stuff and whatever. So she calls him, and he didn't have her new number. So he picks up, and he's like, hey, what's up? And she's like, hey, and he goes, oh, who is this? And she told him who she was, and she was like, hey, are you coming Saturday? Because we got to get some stuff put together. Like, I got a tie for him and everything like that. And she wanted him there early to, make sure he was there to help us out. He's like, oh, yeah, of course I'm going to be there. No problem at all. He sends me a text message the night before, something about wedding bells, which I thought was kind of crazy because we'd already been married 3 weeks by that point. But anyway, so the day comes, the reception, and I'm like, you know what, if my best man's talked to him and my wife has talked to him, he's going to be there. Turns out he does not show at all. And then I get kind of mad because later on that night, he posts on Twitter, oh, I'm having a rough night, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, seriously, dude, like, you asked to be a groomsman and to be in the wedding party, and you don't show up. I mean, how low is that? And I'm kind of caught in a pickle right now because, well, I'm not really caught in a pickle. Like, I'm kind of torn up what I want to do. Because, like, he posts stuff on Twitter, like, oh, I'm having a bad night, blah, blah, blah. And I really want to make smart aleck remarks back to him, like, oh, you had a bad night? Well, I had a bad reception because one of my groomsmen didn't show up. And it's not like it really destroyed it or anything. Like, my wife's brother was totally willing to step in to kind of help us out. And so, I mean, I still had somebody there with me, too, who I think is pretty cool. But still, I think it's pretty lame, and I really want to say crap to him or, like, post something on his Facebook or on Twitter or something like that, letting him know I'm not happy. And it's not really that I'm not happy, because if it was something where it's just directly against me, I really wouldn't care that much because I was kind of expecting it to begin with. But the fact that it made my wife mad, I think, frustrated me more than anything else. And so I've kind of gotten defensive towards that. Like, you don't make my wife mad. But I don't know. What do you guys think that I should do? I mean, should I say anything to him? Should I just let it go and just kind of subtly move him away? I don't know. So I could use your guys' advice on that. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, granted, I was already married. But unless some extreme circumstance happens, I plan on only getting married once. And so the wedding reception was a big deal, like, to me and my wife. And for him to do that, I thought that was pretty low. But anyway, venting done. That still just blows my mind, though. How could you do that? How could you ask to be a groomsman and then bail? But whatever. So for those of you who are not married, I recommend it. A lot of things change, but it's all very good. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been in relationships before, and you guys really felt like you had strong feelings for somebody. Like, maybe you even have loved somebody. Well, I think that's awesome, and I really felt that way too. Like, when I was dating, my wife now, I definitely felt like I loved her. I thought things could not get any better. And then I get married, and things have gotten a lot better since then too. I feel so much closer to her. There's a lot of times we'll be sitting together watching a movie, or we'll be doing stuff together, like hanging out or, running errands. And I really do feel like we're one person. And that is a very cool feeling to have. Like, I'm very lucky. You guys have heard me say that, to be with this girl. I am very lucky to, be married, period. So I don't take any of this for granted. In fact, I know I want to work every single day to make sure I'm the kind of guy that she deserves. But if you guys get a chance, definitely get married. It's awesome. You never know what happiness it's going to bring, and it's going to bring a lot of happiness. Sorry, I had a cough there. So, but yes. All right, so done with the wedding stuff now. 100% coming back to all of this. Oh, I think I juked this guy out here. But anyway, Battlefield 3, I think is an awesome game. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for what I'm going to say next. Probably better than Call of Duty. Now, the reason why I think it's better is I think there's more strategy, and I'll probably get flack for saying that too. When you look at Call of Duty, a lot of it, well, all of it is really infantry-based. So your strategy is, how do you fight other people on the ground who are running around just like you? Now, I think with Battlefield 3, it becomes more complicated when you throw vehicles into the mix. You got tanks, you've got APCs, you've got those, gosh, I don't know what I'm thinking. I keep thinking go-karts, but totally not it. But anyway, you got airplanes, you got helicopters, you got boats. It gets pretty crazy. I do like the fact that it's more of an open world than what you get with Call of Duty. I also like that it's difficult to be able to spot your enemy. Now, some people just absolutely hate that about Battlefield 3 and think that, that's what makes it really, really tough, is that you can't, you can't see anybody. Now, well, yes, that does make it difficult for you. It also makes it difficult for them, too. So your strategy is a lot different, and I think the strategy that I use with Battlefield 3 is a lot more fun than what I experienced with Call of Duty. But who knows? Maybe I'll get Modern Warfare 3, and then that'll change my mind. But we'll see about that. But to kind of go back to the sports video games, I'm going to be, of course, doing some football again. I kind of announced Utah, BYU. And I'll be doing... Sorry, you guys. Told you I'm getting over this cold. My voice is really not where I want it to be. I'm going to be doing some Madden as well. Now, all the videos that I had before the whole wedding and everything got erased. So all the playoffs that I had with the Cubs, that's all gone. What I can tell you guys, the Cubs did win the World Series. That's awesome. I was definitely happy about that. Broke the Billy Goat curse, but I can't show it to you guys, which means basically nothing. But maybe I'll throw some baseball ones in there because I'm kind of in a position where, I'm kind of stuck what to do sports-wise. Because, there's a lot of FIFA that's out there. I know there's probably not too many FIFA fans here on the channel. Anything NBA is going to be difficult for me because I'm not a huge basketball fan. Of course, I know how to play the game. I know it all works, strategy, stuff like that. But I really don't feel like I know enough or have enough passion about basketball to really be a good commentator for the game. NHL, kind of the same thing. I love playing the hockey games, but I really don't. Well, actually, I should say it's different because I love I love playing the hockey games. I just really don't know that much about hockey as a whole. So that may be something that would end up not being a good idea if I decided to do that. So I might just stick with football and baseball here for a little bit until that stuff passes. Maybe I'll kind of mix in some Battlefield 3 periodically. I don't know. And the videos I do are going to be a lot better than this, but this one kind of works out because it's a longer video. And with the marriage and everything like that, I wanted to go over that with you guys. And this is one of the first ones I did too. But I don't know. Maybe I'll mix it up. It's up to you guys, though, what you would like to see. Because I don't know what you guys think about me doing the dynasties or the franchises or anything like that, since we're already partway through the season anyway. Because I wanted to do it where on the Saturdays that Nebraska plays, I'm going to put up a Nebraska video. Or on the Sundays where the Bucks play, I'll put up a Bucks game. Wow, my voice is really going, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm glad there's only 2-something minutes left. But it's up to you what you guys like to see. So I'll check the comments here on this video. If you guys let me know what it is. If you're new, I really apologize about this. Like, I usually don't do this. I usually don't cop on you guys. Like I said, I'm just getting over this cold, so my voice really isn't 100% at all, which you guys can probably hear. But anyway, also for those of you who are new, I love getting feedback from you guys. I really think that the best way to become a great commentator is to listen to you guys, and that's what I want to be. I mean, I want to be a good commentator. I want to post stuff that entertains you. So leave me a comment. I'll definitely listen to everybody that's out there. And I think in the next few videos, I'll let you guys know the direction that I want to take, because I think that taking time away is going to end up being a very, very good thing. Gets me a chance to reevaluate some stuff, start over from scratch, and to make a better channel than it was before. That's really what I want to do, and I cannot do that without you guys. So your feedback is invaluable. Let me know what you want to see, and we'll go from there. If you want to see more Battlefield 3, let me know. If you do not want to see Battlefield 3 video again, let me know, and I won't do that. I wouldn't be surprised if too many people said that, because really don't do too hot in this one here at all. I've got some other ones that I do a little bit better on, but anyway, that is the end of the video. We lost. That's all right. But I thank you guys for watching, and for sticking with me through all this too. That's pretty sweet that you guys stayed. Like I said, submit feedback, what you want to see. That'll be awesome. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe.